Yeah, so I can start by introducing myself for people to hear better.
Yeah.
I'm Irene Chepkwony, born and raised in Kenya. I'm in project management space as my current. Particularly, my current organization that I'm working with is Equity Bank as a senior project manager. Before Equity Bank, I've worked in various capacities in different organizations. I've worked as a developer. I've also worked as a quality assurance tester. I've worked as a pre-sales engineer before I now ventured into project management. So that is in summary me as a person. I'm a mother of two wonderful children, a son and a daughter. And in terms of my education qualification, I have a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Master of Science in Information Technology. Various professionals are project management, leadership and management, and guiding and counseling. So that is a summary of me as a person. In many of the conversations that I've had with Marilyn and Daniel Kimani in regard to Mariola and the initiative of Natujenge, I felt excited to share over the years that I've worked and I've identified could be the gap that we can bridge that gap. So that is why I'm here, and bridging business needs with information technology is the topic. I will be very biased with the corporate because I've mentioned the business. Of course, there is bridging social needs with information technology. There is bridging medical needs with information technology. But today, the focus of this discussion, based on the group, will be to bridge business needs, which is a bias of corporate with information technology. So I'll go ahead. I've prepared a short presentation. However, I'm hoping that this conversation or this presentation will be more of conversation than me speaking. And in this particular moment, it is me leading the conversation and will be able to contribute. So Marilyn, I can go ahead and present my presentation.
Yeah, sure.
So today is more of questions, leading questions and agitating questions. So what are the business needs that people are talking about? So we will go a little bit to class so that we can body back now to where we are at the moment. So the business needs can be said to be gaps between the current state of the company and its goals. And the goals could be short-term or long-term. And the needs are just the basic factors. These are the basic factors of the changes of the organization, which are defined by the requirements of the organization, and it is implemented by people. That is you implementing projects, and that is where I am, transforming operations and purchasing of goods and the likes. So that is pretty much, in the simplest terms, business needs. What are these type of business needs? So the business needs could come in form of talent. Talent is at the top because it is key. It can come in form of the infrastructure, and infrastructure could be IT infrastructure. It could be just the basic facilities to have somewhere to house that particular business. Then we have the facilities, we have the processes of the organizations. As you are aware, there are different sectors. We have the health sector, we have the financial sector, we have the government, we have the NGOs, and they have different processes. We have standards and practices. We have systems, applications, and systems could be the system in terms of the structure they follow within the organization, or the system in terms of the information systems that they have, which are combined with the applications. Of course, we have the knowledge. The industry knowledge is key. We have data. The reason why I pause here is because we are in the phase of data. We talk about big data. So data is also very important, and everybody or many organizations, if not all of the organizations, are now out to do collecting of data and mine data. Of course, we have machines like the way we are using what we are using right now to sign into this call. We have various tools, we have capabilities. There are different capabilities. We have those people capabilities in information systems. There are those who are in the HR, so different capabilities. Of course, I mentioned about the structure earlier on. We have relationships. Relationships is also important. Organization culture. What is the culture of the organization? Intellectual property. What is the property of that particular organization? Products and services that they provide, that this is also key, and customer experience. So those are the types of needs in the organization. So why does business needs matter? It matters because I have categorized the matter in terms of 4 broader categories, if not 3. Number 1 is profit maximization. Many businesses are out there to do profit and to achieve value and return of investment for the stakeholders. That is 1. Number 2, of course, is service delivery. We have we are in the age of service. It is no longer brick and mortar. So it's service delivery. We have the government and the NGOs. They are focused in services, not necessarily profit maximization. So that is also very important. Maintain competitive advantage. So you have the need, and the need is driven by a need to have an edge, a competitive edge to your competitor, and probably maintain or add the market share. And that is what is happening with most of the organizations. And then the final one, but not the least, is these are in broader categories. Of course, there could be others, and there are so many others, but this one brought it back really to the core of why the business needs matter. So the 4th one is to achieve and maintain cost leadership in a given market. Many organizations, if you walk in, and among the conversations they will tell you is, how do we minimize cost? How do we reduce the cost of operations so that we maximize, of course, to number 1, profit? Okay, so that is the aspect of business and the business needs. Okay, so then we come and ask ourselves, to the core, the very basic things. What is information technology? And of course, anyone will answer in because many of us are in the space of information technology. So I brought it back to information technology is simply the use of computers, storage, networking, and other physical devices, infrastructure, and processes to create, process, store, secure, and exchange all forms of electronic data. It is used in the context of business operations, as opposed to technology used for personal entertainment purposes. So this and like I had mentioned, this is the focus on the business. So what does information? So what is it? What does it encompass? So it encompasses, of course, the system, the network, the data, and applications that all function properly, so that we can handle 3 major areas in the organization: deploy, maintain business applications, services, and infrastructure. That is servers, network, storage. I'm quite sure that all of you are familiar with this one. Then after that, you do the monitor, optimize, and troubleshoot the performance, and of course the layer of security. So those are the basic functions of the information technology. So why is it important? Why is information technology important? Information technology is important because of what I mentioned in our earlier on, and I've focused a little bit, data. What is driving, of course, somebody, when I was doing my research, they mentioned that it is said that the data, what powers industry worldwide is data. Of course, it could be a little bit exaggerated, but without data, the companies will be difficult to hold a competitive edge. So we are in the data mining phase, where many, whether it is social media, whether it is an organization, organizational structure, what they are doing is the collection of that. Of course, there are others which have come up, which is in the social context, that they make your data disappear after some time. But the core of it is that they are collecting data and they are mining data. You will find an advertisement that is focused to you. I know, or I believe that all of us have experienced when we go to a particular site and you click on a particular advertisement. So that information in mind, and you will get many advertisements in relation to whatever that you've clicked. So that is part of data mining and focusing to you as a person. So it provides the means to develop, process, analyze, exchange, store, and secure data. So let's go a little bit. So big data or data mining, it plays a role of product development and design, marketing and market researches, sales and invoicing, customer development and retention, very important. You can imagine a company sending you a happy birthday. That is data mining in itself, and it is skewed on the social aspect. That is so powerful that this company knows you. That's really important. It is very easy to retain, or there is a potential to retain the customers with just that. And then, of course, the accounting and taxes, human resources and payroll, and regulatory compliance. So these are some of the functions of organizations, be it financial, be it health, be it government, be it NGOs. So that is why it is important. So we've talked about business needs. We've talked about why business needs is important. We've talked about technology. We've talked about what technology encompasses on a very high level. Or we've seen the invent of artificial intelligence, which are moving in. You've seen what is happening in the market right now is that blockchain is coming in, which is a peer-to-peer or decentralized ledgers they're talking about. We've seen the gaming, self-driving cars, airline industries, and autopiloting. We have service and deliveries. So all those are data-driven in terms of you've collected big data, and now you're mining that big data to add value to the organization or to the social and economic part of the society. So that is information. Now, I want us to board it back to us. How do we bridge as an individual or as a person? How do we bridge? That's the question that I've been asking myself, and really appreciating how do the engineers or the software engineers being prepared to come out to the market and probably, as Maliora had put it, changing the landscape of software engineering in Africa. We know that software engineering has also evolved from brick and mortar and to quite advanced APIs oriented and all that. So how then do we bridge? One of the things and this is in my belief, in my strongest belief, is really of priority, is bring your brilliance, show up to serve. And I want it to sink into you a little bit when we say bring your brilliance, because it is your brilliance. We do not know until it comes to service. This is where the greatest minds show up. Among us, we have the Steve Jobs, we have the Bill Gates, we have the Mark Zuckerbergs. That is bringing your brilliance, showing up to serve. That is very, very important. You already have the knowledge, the basic or the advanced knowledge of the area of information technology. Some of you could be software engineers. Some of you could be learning in the different learning institutions. Some of you could be network engineers, system administrators, just the basic data center managers or data center. You are overseeing the data center. It is just that bit of bring your brilliance. Once you've brought your brilliance, now, which is also key, is in your brilliance, understand the business needs in the organization, because you will be going out there to the organization. You will be brilliant, no doubt about it. You will be junior software developers, the network people who can really bring optimization and efficiency into the low level of information technology. Let us board it back to, do you understand the business needs? At times, the organizations can be noisy. So for those people who are coming into the organization, so they can be noisy. But the core to it is that what is the need that we are looking for, so that we are able to effectively address that. The other point of boarding back to us is understand the organizational pain, both seen and unseen. When I say both seen and unseen, is, for instance, we have so many avenues of customers complaining. You could find customers using the traditional structures to complain. You could find customers using the new platforms, which are social media and all that. So that could be, to their organization, seen pain. That is a seen pain. So there's a lot of complaints and that is coming to the organization on a particular issue. But what is the unseen pain? It could be as complex as system failures, if they are using a particular system, or it could be as home as a customer might not be able to understand a particular application or a particular service. Maybe you released a feature. I know most of us are using agile project management and agile systems development. And in agile systems development, you release frequently, and you could release a feature that the customers, you might not have done the campaign well, so the customers could be making noise, and that could be pain. Another unseen pain could be the back-end design of the system has a problem. So those are the ones that, once you are in an organization or aspiring to be in an organization, or even just outside, because there's so many or a lot of information out there that you're able to mine. I remember I read somewhere, I've forgotten. I don't know if it was Google or might have been Google or Google or Facebook. A young man just studied some of the weaknesses that they had, and during the interview, he went and presented the solution to the problems. So the information is really out there. It could be as simple as changing how we do things in terms of the languages that we are using or the technologies that we are using. It could be as simple as that. Sometimes it could be the code quality. So understand the organizational pain, both seen and unseen. The other point that I want to bring it to our attention today is focus on value, provision, and addition. I was very particular in provision and addition, because you can provide value or you can add to the existing value. When we say to the existing value, and then when I put dash, because many of you could be are coders. So when we come to the code or solution, so when I say the code is sometimes or many a times you do distributed software development, and when you get someone's code, I'm sure most of you have that one person. When you have their code, you feel like going somewhere and having a special prayers, because you don't quite understand where things are. And another one could be having a very clean code and very, very, very straightforward. Others, even I've known of developers who do their documentation in their code. So it could be as simple as that particular addition of value or provision of value. Many organizations have spent a lot of money doing the code cleaning because of that. So you could really bring value to the organization in terms of that, and in terms of also, of course, the solution that you're providing. So you could be providing various solutions. You could be changing the technology or adding more efficiency to technology through your code. Understand the strategic goals of the organization. What are their goals? What are they looking at? Why are they bringing this? That is also important as you move into the organization. And then dare to venture and innovate at atomic or astronomical levels, even if you might not have the co-signers. So this is what I normally tell myself, or what I normally tell the people that I work with, that what has been done before is so by the people who've been there before. Now you have not been there before. Show us your brilliance. So you might not have the co-signers, meaning that it might not have been done. Yes, what has been done is working, and that we agree. But now what has not been done is waiting for what is your, so bring us your brilliance and innovate, even in atomic small level or in a big way. Dare to venture. And then finally research and do more research within and outside organization. That is boarding back to us, bringing the value. There is a teaser somewhere there. Marilyn, please confirm you can see a teaser.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Front end, back end.
Yeah. So there was somewhere, they were saying the front end looks like this executive lunch, which is perfect, brilliant, and really, really presentable. Is like a presidential suit. The APIs, like I'd mentioned, many organizations right now are moving into the technology of APIs. APIs are like the persons who are actually bringing the services, which they look very presentable, and our backend look like brick and mortar, where we are still using the steam or the firewood to still fire our engine. So that is a teaser, and what I've been talking about earlier on is in the back end, in the brick and mortar, in the steam, in the firewood to power the engine, you can bring a value. In the front end, we can bring the value. In the API system, we can bring the value. We have the value along this chain. So as an academia and as good recommended behavior, those are some of the sources that I got this information, and of course through my experience. So let's go to Q&A.
Do you have a question in the chat?
So let me stop sharing so that I can have a look.
Yes, she mentioned cosigners. I was just wondering who the cosigners are on that point of being an innovator.
Oh, Irene, did you catch that?
I got that. Is that Wakungu?
Yeah.
Great. So Wakungu, the cosigners are it's like the mentors who've gone before you, and they've paved the way. So those are the cosigners. They are the people. Those are like the cosigners. They are the people who are telling you to go. It's possible. It can be done. But in situations where innovating, sometimes you don't have the cosigners, meaning that you are the one paving the path. We don't know what you are doing. And that is the heart of innovation. That is the heart of innovation. Because you're the one leasing the forest. You're the one who is scaring off the elephants and the lions and the cheetahs in form of the people who already understand what they already know, and they're wondering if that is going to be possible. So sometimes you're the pioneer of whatever you're telling us.
Steve, I hope that answers your question. Anyone else with a question? Kibet is asking in the chat, can investing in the right technology be a way of bridging the gap?
Yes. Investing in the right technology is a way of bridging the gap.
Thank you.
Marlene, if I may ask a question, Marlene?
Yeah.
She mentioned she's working at Equity. What are the softwares, or what are the languages, or what are the software engineering skills that is really accepted there, or it's being used there? You may know.
So we use various technologies. We've been moving more to APIs. So that is bundled with particularly REST APIs. We are using Java. We are also using I've forgotten another language for front-end developer. Front-end development. Just give me 1 second. So we are using various technologies.
Maranga, does that answer your question, or you need maybe an explanation of what works where? Because I'm sure at Equity there are various departments. So yeah.
Okay. What exactly I wanted to know is mainly what is the main maybe programming language, or what are the, for example, she mentioned something about AI or planning something. What is being really the language which is being used on a daily basis, or what is being used on a normal day? That's what I wanted to ask, at least to get into an insight in it.
So Maranga, we don't have normal days in an organization that is taking up. is really picking up or has picked up astronomically. remember, because of the complexity of the organization, we have the telcos, we have the core banking, we have the mobiles and the innovation side. So what could be the core runs in different organizations. So you will find Java, you will find C++, you will find RESTful APIs for the API. So they are really different based on that line of function and based on the application. Because remember, we run so many applications.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome.
Or anyone else with a question?
If I may ask a question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Irene, you are the product manager in Equity. And by the way, we are very grateful to have you. Now, maybe I would like to know, because now Equity is migrating almost all its services online, and you are the product manager. So I'm guessing maybe most of the projects that you're having are related to IT and software and whatever. So what could be some of these projects that you deal with, and what may be some of the pain points that you're having? Because now we are the software engineers and we are the ones who are going to come solve those problems. Maybe you could just give us like a sneak peek.
So just a sneak peek of that is that, and I think I think we've really gone out there, and we've been discussing out there in terms of what we are going to do. So you mentioned what are some of them?
Okay, some of the projects that you're doing. Yeah.
The projects that we are doing. So we have various projects that we are handling, and these projects, of course, are skewed to what is happening in the market. So as you know, we are expanding, and so when you are expanding, there is that expansion of capacity. So we are expanding regional and also expanding the customer base. So there is a lot of online discussions. There is a lot of having an umbrella or a home or a supermarket of services, so that when you open a particular app, then you will be able to access various services. So that is really where we are on a snapshot. So you ask what is the pain point? So the pain point we feel is just like any other organization who is expanding. So there is a lot of so when that is why when I'm almost using the plane. So when it is taking off, it is really against the center of gravity, and they tell you to buckle up. So there's a lot of expansion. That means that there's a lot of pressure in all resources round, from human resources all the way to information resources. So that is we're just going through the normal pain of growth.
Bernard, does that answer your question?
Okay, thank you. I've answered my question, but maybe the pain point could be a little bit skewed to software engineering, so that we can know where you are. I don't know whether that is possible.
Sorry, the pain point in terms of the software engineering.
Like we had Safaricom saying that they are having they are having like a shortage of developers or something. Is there something like that in Equity, or
That is affecting that's affecting everybody. The giants are coming into the market, so it's really affecting everybody. And if I may qualify, when organizations say we have the shortage of developers, there are so many developers out there, but the shortage is of good quality developers.
talent?
You understand the point.
I get it.
You understand the point that I'm bringing to service.
like developers who can deliver?
So of course, we have a very, very big organization, and we have very, very good developers. So what we are saying is that when the big companies are moving into the market, so you run the risk of your developers, good developers, being, how can I put it, being taken away from you. So there is that risk that is affecting everybody. But in terms of our organization, I think we've not been affected much. We've been able to, because we have a number of teams, and in various teams we have that lineup of successions, and just ensuring, like, we have a project manager here or a product manager here who is sitting and looking at the bumps ahead and signaling that there is a bumps ahead. So generally that is it's an industry, not specifically to one, even small or big. It can affect small or big.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Most welcome.
And Irene for answering those questions. Is there anyone else with a question? So thank you to everybody who attended the session and stayed out throughout the session. And thank you, Irene, for coming to speak to us about bridging business needs and the technological field. I have learned quite a bit in that regard, and maybe could be very helpful to me going forward, because I look to be in your field too. So I think we can end the session here. And so thank you guys for coming, and I wish you guys a lovely night. Goodbye.
Thank you too. You have a lovely night.